So in this second episode of my foil jibe attempt, I'll walk you through the whole session. I will share the good, the bad, and we'll try to point to the things that helped me the most. 10 days have passed since the session during episode 1. This time I'm riding on Lake Michigan. This lake is roughly as large as the entire state of West Virginia. At this time of year, the lake is still quite cold at about 10 degrees Celsius, while the air was well in the mid-20s. This difference in temperature generates some temporary fogging of the camera lens here and there during the video. I added a countdown at the bottom of the screen to give an idea of when the next jibe is up. There's also a set of bookmarks in the description to help jump to the next jibe faster if you prefer. Here's a description of the kit I'm riding during this session. First jibe went pretty well. Simplifying is important for success, and not having to worry about vertical control is pretty important initially. So I found that keeping the board low or even slightly touching the water lowers the risk of a scary crash because of the foil breaching. Keeping a stance centered, the rig vertical, and bending the knees to lower the center of gravity really helps to maintain an active position on the board. Conversely, transferring the body weight on the back foot by fear of speed or a crash makes it very hard to maintain control. Also, it is key to perform both foot switch and sail flip early in the process. In fact, much earlier than a carved jibe on a fin board. This really helps with keeping the timing right and the board carving the turn consistently. Despite all good intentions, there are moments where overreacting to a sudden change in elevation leads to a loss of control. This is a good example of that. The foil provided a sudden increase in lift and I felt I was about to breach. I shifted my weight forward a bit too strongly in an attempt to keep the nose down, thinking it would save it. But the board dropped too quickly, so I intuitively shifted my weight on the back foot even more forcefully, and this is when I started my freestyle career. This is a good reminder to stay focused and keep a light touch with weight shifting. Now I'm in the drink, thinking I can water start quickly and get on my way. but the wind is not strong enough for the sail size and I can't get the needed lift. And it's exactly how it should be when windsurf foiling. If I could water start, that means that my sail would be overpowered when riding on the foil. I'm getting close to shore where the wind is light and inconsistent. I'm thinking it's best to do a pivot jibe and get back to the wind line. And thanks to a moment of inattention, I'm back in the water. During this jibe, I initiated the turn a bit too aggressively. This led to the board slowing down, the inner rail sinking in the water, and the whole move losing momentum. the port side jibe is definitely more challenging to me. To maximize the chance of staying on the board, I pull my back foot off the strap well ahead of the jibe. This breaks down some of the steps so I can focus only on trying to time the foot switch and the sail flip correctly later on. Unfortunately, it's easier said than done. With this one, I hesitate and take too long to switch my feet and flip the sail. By the time I do the switch, I lost most of the speed and the stability. I managed to keep myself on the board, but my new front foot has to go in front of the foot strap to keep my balance, and this completely stops the board's forward momentum. The jibe preparation is going well. Slight downwind course, backhand extended further on the boom, back foot off the strap, gentle carving, and I even managed to keep the board kind of flying. This time, the board still flying caught me off guard to the point that I delayed both foot switch and sail flip. This illustrates well the effects of a delayed sail flip. The clue of the sails stay forward a little too long, and to keep the sail balance, I have to lean the mast back. By the time I flip the sail, the mast is so far back that I have to lean back and out to reach for the other side of the boom. This disrupts the foil trajectory, and the board lifts up, loses speed, and curves back in the wrong direction for a split second. This was my best portside jibe to date. It is far from perfect, but I'll take it any day. The sail flip was a bit sketchy. It was a tad too late and I had to reach out to grab the boom on the other side. But this time, I kept the momentum going and was able to push forward and complete the turn successfully while planing. This is the kind of breakthrough that really makes the countless hours in trying and failing worth it. Slowly but surely, this is all about getting the mind to internalize the move and the body to finally memorize it. With this one, it's still the same issue. I delay the foot switch and sail flip too much. The same causes produce the same effects. I'm bleeding speed, generating stability, the sail flip gets harder to execute, and ultimately I dropped off the plane. On the bright side, I'm still dry, and that's no small victory. I think this really demonstrates how humbling it is to learn how to foil jibe. A slight hesitation, the wrong timing, or the wind that's a bit too light, and the best intentions are reduced to nothing. Here, all these factors have something to do with this failed attempt. Finally, I let the clue drag in the water, and of course, everything stops. By now, I'm starting to get tired and I need a break. Surprisingly, this jibe was fairly under control. I was motivated by a friend behind on a kiteboard chasing me. As he turned around, I wanted to stay riding with him. So despite a fairly aggressive turn radius, this extra motivation helped me to not overthink the jibe itself, and that was maybe for the best. So what are the 2 or 3 things that are making a difference in how I've been able to make progress on my foil jibes? Keeping the board low on the water is removing the difficult vertical control out of the equation. Fully flying jibes will happen once everything else is somewhat mastered. Early foot switch and sail flip is key to avoid making unnecessary moves that disrupts the trajectory of the jibe. Have fun chasing others on the water to keep the mind away from overthinking the technique. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.